has asked a great follow-on question. What was the biggest mistake you all made? And I'm going to drop Neil in it for this one.
Yes, I've got a good answer, an easy answer for that. So publishing my first book, I had no background, no knowledge, no peers to help me. This is before I met the colleagues on the call today. And I did pay a company £300 to design the book cover and to put the book onto Amazon for me and help with the formatting. And actually that was probably worthwhile because you could do all that yourself, but I had no idea where to start. But I also paid the company another £300 to do some marketing. And that seemed like a kind of no-brainer to me at the time. I thought by them marketing, by me paying the £300, I would get straight up the charts. And so they did various things. They sent my book to people to review. They did some promotions on Amazon. And I think that £300 was just pouring money down the drain. I think I got absolutely nothing out of it. This was a generalist marketeer who was just kind of going through a process that had no connection to my book or to my readers. So I think I learnt my lesson from that. Since then, I've spent virtually nothing in marketing, and I've tried to do it all myself through social media, through doing talks. And also the approach I've taken is writing articles for magazines. And there's so many magazines that are quite willing to take articles on climate-related issues. You don't normally get paid for them, but they do publish them for free, and that's all good publicity. So that was a mistake I made. Never again.
Well, I made so many mistakes, and I'm still making them. I tell you, it never ends. But I think that maybe the biggest mistake was naivety at the beginning, naivety in thinking that just by getting traditionally published through a publishing house, that was it. It would reach bestseller, and I'd be making a living off one book. Not the way it works. I found out that publishing houses for unknown authors, if you're lucky to get a deal, if you're lucky, not only do they take most of the royalties, but they won't lift a finger for marketing. They just don't do it. They don't have the resources. Your book is at the bottom of the pile, and they're happy to publish it for you and take the royalties, but they won't do any promotion or marketing, in my experience anyway. So when basically the bottom line is, when you want to go traditionally published, the first question to ask is what budget do you have, what resources do you have for marketing? As an author, we get fixated on, wow, I'm going to get published, which is a real ego trip. And I did this myself, and I've seen people with their living rooms full of books celebrating on Instagram saying, I got published. And I'm thinking, okay, should I be really nasty now and answer saying, who's going to sell your books?
I'll chip in a little piece. And it's not so much a mistake, but it certainly is that as a self-published author, and everyone's already commented on it, you have to do an inordinate amount of work. And that's fine. And you write to book bloggers, and you look for reviews, and you promote yourself, you promote your book, you do podcasts and all of those. And sometimes you get very little back in return. And even after a long period, it's as Alan says, you need some good luck and to touch on the right people, perhaps, to end up into mainstream. And my advice would be, don't take any of it personally. Don't think it's that you've got a bad book, or you're a bad author, or it's not going anywhere. Don't take it personally, because it is incredibly difficult and an awful lot of right place, right time. So just keep going with it.
Yeah, I would say exactly the same. With the fact that I've probably spent an awful lot of money on people who promised to do this, that, or the other in marketing, and it's come to nothing. But what keeps me going is that because I seem to only sell books, I sell more books when I've been talking somewhere and someone hears what I have to say, and then, oh, we'll get her book. And that is a brilliant way of marketing. So I've pushed myself and carried on doing an awful lot of talking, especially over the COVID time, because I went onto Zoom and I did over 140 different talks to different people around the world. And it was around the world. It was South Africa and Norway and Australia and so on. So, but I find the talking helps me to sell books. That's my way of, I suppose, marketing. That's the best marketing thing I can do. But at the end of the day, it's knowing that the children who have read the book with their reviews, and then they write to me and things like that, and they come back with what they've thought of it and what they think, should happen next, and is she going to do X, Y, or Z, as a character. So no, it's the children themselves, the audience. My audience keep me going. And by doing the talks, I just absolutely adore talking to people about the things that I do, the things that I know about, rather, not just what I do.